Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today, we're playing Tangle Tower, and in today's episode, well, maybe we will finally be able to figure out who done it. We've interviewed all the suspects. Now we just gotta figure out how the clues fit into each other. Will we succeed? I don't know. Let's hop in and find out. All right. So, we've got our suspicion.
Thing, you said you used it to search the greenhouse.
Right.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
I think we have an idea.
Tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
All right, so what was it? It was the golden beetle, right?
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse?
Right, the golden beetle.
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
It's not a microscope.
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
All right, Hawkshaw doesn't know how to use it. It's not a microscope, right? It's a telescope.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
I mean, we did talk to the professor. So, something is made entirely out of, was created by Fifi to use. According to Fifi uses. According to Hawkshaw uses. Okay. I think it's going to be the handheld microscope is, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. So Hawkshaw lied about it? Maybe? Let's see.
The handheld microscope,
Yes.
according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. So
Right?
Hawkshaw lied about it.
But why? Why did she lie about it?
I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
Exactly.
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective, I assume.
Emperor of the Galaxy.
I wanted to be an
It's such
astronomer.
small dreams.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe.
So maybe she
Fool's
really
errand, to be sure.
admires
But
the
seductive.
professor.
At 15, I decided
But he's not
I would
really an
apply my
astronomer?
intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the
Okay.
yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Okay.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to
She thought he
consider
was an
something
astronomer,
like
right?
planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish
Oh.
indulgence.
Because he was faking
I
being an
never would've
astronomer.
guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor
Mhm.
Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My
Okay.
lead suspect
Is dead?
is your murder victim.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. It's Freya. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else we need to talk to her about. I think that's pretty much it. Is there, we might can ask her about, let's go ahead and ask her about the other people though. So now that we've interviewed
I'll say
everyone.
this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard
Yeah.
he's been breeding experimental flowers.
Yeah, okay.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
Okay. Professor Pointer?
is a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself.
Okay. That's
What?
weird.
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Well, she admires him. What about
I
Penny?
find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least
boy.
25.
27. Just makes it worse.
And Poppy.
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy,
But
if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
okay. All right, now what about the extra items we've picked up? So the potted fruit. This came from
People here are surprisingly materialistic.
the greenhouse.
Considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
I mean, if they're not gonna sell
What would
it,
you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stones straight from the earth?
an ornate trowel.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
I mean, that's true. All right, what about the horn statue?
Some breed of amphibious humanoid, potentially bipedal. Although none
Okay.
of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess.
Imagine that. Gee, I don't know anything about that. If you don't get that, you should definitely check out the Detective Grimoire playthrough we did, because that was the whole thing
Who's
there.
that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange.
Nobody will tell us it's Poppy.
Is that a clue?
Don't know. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same. Yeah?
Okay.
Three
I love how he
birds,
was
one
uncertain about
cage.
that.
What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then
Probably.
they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would.
Maybe. All right, what about the crumpled paper? Now I'll get her.
These people really are ridiculous, aren't they?
The potted flower. This was the one that we found in Penelope's room.
You consider that important evidence, do you?
I mean, okay, now the golden beetle.
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and head back to the garden and see if we can find out any new clues. All right. So there's this crab sign I never looked at,
This wasn't here before.
and that's why I never looked at it.
What is it?
Well,
It's a
yeah.
little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
Yeah.
There's a note stuck to the back.
Okay, well, this would
What does it
explain why I
say?
never saw it before.
Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck you to Freya? What? That's very interesting. Okay, interesting.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
From Freya, the murder victim.
How can it be?
Exactly?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Okay,
Good idea. Hold on.
all right. Let's look.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
That's a little scary
oh,
then.
it's confirmed.
Unless this was something she was sending to her two friends.
We have a ghost helping us.
Let's
Maybe.
keep this to ourselves for now.
Yeah, I think we
What
need to
about
go
the
play
little
the
wooden
gramophone
toy thingy?
though.
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Unfinished business? Oh boy. Now what do we do? Now, let's head back over here and summarize our findings, I think. Okay, let's look at the crime
We know a
scene.
little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
I don't think so. Alright, blood from the paint pot. We have, okay, so the painted ink dip feather was replaced by, let's see. To prove the existence of magic might work. To hide the evidence, to distract Freya. To resemble a bloody knife. Okay. Was used to paint the red tip of a feather found outside. The painted flora. Was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather. Blood from the paint pot. Was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
Blood from the paint pot.
That's not quite
was
right.
Used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. Almost.
It's not.
Maybe just change one thing.
Okay, so let's see.
Blood from the paint pot.
That's what it was.
Used to
Okay.
paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I swear we thought about that one,
I
but
think
oh
you're
well.
right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Yeah, why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
It's obviously got to be a
Somebody
setup,
deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why?
right?
To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it
Hmm.
worked.
Possibly.
Yeah, it had them chasing after a
Flora's the
knife
only
for a
person who
while.
could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally,
Right.
It can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So
Yeah.
whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except
Perhaps.
Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what and more interested in the how.
I think it's connected to the golden beetle.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her.
Which the
But
only
she was
thing there
standing
would be
right
her
up at-
paintbrush.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe
Right?
something went through it.
Through the painting?
It's
Wouldn't that be
possible.
all?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Maybe. That's possible. But why? All right, I want to go up to the tower. And we also have this room to investigate. This was the mysterious room that was above, that we were able to see from here. We could see this window. Let's go check that out. Maybe we'll get some more clues up there. What's here? The attic. Oh boy. What is this monstrosity?
It's a statue of a wolf.
Okay.
Standing up straight, like a man.
It's a werewolf.
You know, there's a name for that.
Indeed.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here.
That's disturbing.
Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
Oh, okay. There's a box here.
Just dusty junk.
Okay. Do we have anything besides dusty junk here?
What is that?
What is it?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
We'll have to look at
Looks
it.
like it might attach to something.
Okay. A reel thingy. A brass reel with a screw at the top. Coiled around the reel is a length of fine red rope. So it's like a fishing pole reel, right? Okay, here's another wolf.
It's a jar. The head screws off.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Moth-eaten flags.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda.
Oh boy. What's in this box over here?
What's in that little box? I bet it's
Exactly.
bones. A skull, at least.
She's
Yeah, maybe
hoping.
I won't open it.
We got this beam of light right here coming up. You see this?
Where's that light coming from?
Exactly.
No, it's just daylight, I think.
Is it?
There's a decent gap between those floorboards.
Well, let's check it out. Oh, that. Oh. Uh-huh.
Is that what I think it is?
That's the chalk outline. So, where did it come from? We got the window here.
Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
Hmm.
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious.
Right? I think maybe we go talk to Flora. Maybe we even... There's an eye up here.
The attic's directly above us, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Let's talk to... Let's ask her. She's just going to be silent about these, but let's go ahead and ask her
Do these
anyways.
bits have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials. You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Who's not really.
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
All right. What about Penny?
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know.
Hmm.
Do you and Poppy get along?
All right. So
Nothing.
she has nothing to say.
Grimoire, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
All right. Let's ask her about the final items. The small lens. The potted fruit. The ornate trowel. She may surprise us. You never know. She might have something to say. The rib photo. Sheet music.
Do
The
you know anything
birds.
about these birds? Or birds in general?
Indeed. Crumpled paper. The flower. The
Do you know
golden
anything about
beetle.
This beetle?
I feel like she should say something. And the
Do you
real
know what this
thingy.
is?
Guess not.
Okay, so can we play something on the gramophone? Let's try this one. I'm curious if the little device that we found will do anything,
It's piano music.
right? It's a recording of piano music. Poppy, it plays for a short while before stopping. Poppy recorded the piano music for Freya and gave the tape to her as a gift. The tape seems to have a crack recently, possibly during the murder. Yeah, so I'm wondering if it will have any effect on the wooden, on the little wooden toy. However, this one is the one that was found in the water. Maybe it would have a better effect. Let's see. I'm hoping that it will do something to the wooden toy if we play these. I don't know, though. I don't even know what I'm listening to.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Yes, now this is acting up, right? Humming. Okay. Okay, so when we hum, it does this. Okay. Will it do anything if we play this? Okay, so it's not going to give us anything. It's just going to stop now, right? Now, yeah, now it stops. What happens if you eject it? Oh, I see. Okay. But we can't use this, right? A layer of dark ink. So we can do that. What if we take it back to the garden? Maybe? Let's see what happens then. If we don't get any clues from here, we can go re-interview the suspects, right? So, let's see. If we do this... We played it. So let's look over here.
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
Let's look at it. So, we for sure... Yeah, okay, so... This one does that, right? It doesn't seem like this puzzle can be solved yet, but we do have this. We have more clues we've
Let's
got
come
to
back
investigate,
later.
though. Okay, so we definitely have some more clues to investigate. But why don't we... We've already talked to Flora about everything. Let's go revisit all the suspects and talk about everything that we haven't talked to them about. There may not be that much. Plus, we can make sure we've done everyone's suspicion. Alright, so tell me about Fitz.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I
How
trust
come?
Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
Okay. Professor
Percival
Pointer?
Pointer. Yes. Good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
You're
I don't
hopeful?
know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a
Mhm.
lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly
Mhm.
pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood
All
friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
What about Penny?
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a
Okay.
nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
Oh, the family feud goes on. What about Poppy?
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so different.
Different, like how?
Okay.
Poppy is, she's quite introspective. Good with feelings. Fiona,
Right.
Not so much.
That's true.
Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
All right, so that's all the people. Oh, wait, Hawkshaw.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
Just meant to, because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Do you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say.
Okay.
I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
I'm sure. There is no
Well.
treasure called the Golden Beetle.
But there
do
is
you
a
know?
bug.
Because I would have heard of it.
Okay, so I think that is all the people. So now let's ask about the remaining items. So Flora's
These
drawings.
drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
Okay, the small
Why
lens.
don't you ask Fiona about that one?
I'm sure
Looks
we
like
will.
her area of expertise.
All right, the potted
That
fruit.
looks like it might belong to Fitz.
Exactly. The trowel.
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable.
All right, and the horn
Now,
statue.
this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
Of course, of
What
course,
about
of
those
course.
shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Connie?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if that's somehow glass is what killed Freya. Like that's what I'm wondering. There's still some details I'm not sure about though.
Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
He's not going to
a
say,
clue.
I don't know who Poppy is. Sheet music?
I've never been one for music. Why not ask Poppy instead?
Of course. The birds?
Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to.
You think so? The paper. Now I'll get her.
Goodness me!
All right, what about the
That
flower?
looks like it might belong to Fitz.
Okay, the golden
What's
beetle.
this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm
No?
pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
Yes.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold.
That's not why it's called that. Okay, the reel
What is
thingy.
it?
We don't know.
Fishing reel?
We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
What does that even mean? All right, so now we've asked him about all the items. I don't see anything in here that looks like a fishing line or like a fishing pole. All right, so let's move on. Let's go talk to Fifi. All right, let's talk to Fifi. All right, so we need to ask her about the rest of the people. Really, it's only 2 people. So, Professor Pointer.
Name, Percival Pointer. Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh, yes, of course.
Of course.
Characteristically forgetful of me.
All right, what about Penny?
Name, Penelope Pointer. Age, 27. Profession, ornithologist.
Okay,
Likes birds,
of course she
Dislikes
does.
insects. Notes, Penelope is very beautiful. I have
Uh.
never had very much in common with her.
Oh. All right, let's ask about the items. We've asked about most of them. What about the birds?
I am scared of birds.
Really?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Huh. Interesting, since your mother loves birds. Now the
Who is
paper.
This her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object?
All right, the potted
It is a
flower.
flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
Okay, the golden beetle.
Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And
Exactly.
yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Interesting.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
One could
Yeah.
presume.
You could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate.
Okay, now the reel.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I
Hmm.
would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Maybe.
A joke?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's move on then. I guess, did we already ask? I think we asked Hawkshaw about everything, but let's just verify real fast. I think we're good on Hawkshaw. We've asked about all the people. Oh, we haven't asked about this. So let's ask Hawkshaw about the
What is
reel.
that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you
Right?
go back and double check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
Maybe.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, we did look kind of thoroughly. All right, let's go talk to Fitz then. Maybe he'll have some information for us. Okay, we still haven't unlocked his suspicion yet, so let's see. Let's ask about Professor Pointer.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
He's thinking about that. All right, let's ask about the items. We only have to ask about the golden beetle and the reel.
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It
That's
can't
true.
Be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. It's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. But one would also argue you can't grow gemstones on a plant, so...
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I thought you said me too.
Okay, there is this beetle, but I don't think it's the right beetle.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
All right, I guess let's move on now. We're gonna have to figure out what his suspicion is. Let's go talk to Poppy. All right. So, we need to ask you about your father.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether, slowly fraying. Floating, helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet.
Okay. Now, what about Penny?
Feathers flashing in the light from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
So, moving along. All right. We have listened to all of Poppy's poems. All right. Let us ask about... we got a few items to ask about here. The sheet music.
Yeah, it's mine.
It's... Okay, so we've asked about both of them, right?
Can
Oh,
you
wait.
tune for us?
That might be for the wooden
Literally
tool,
8
right?
notes. I have it memorized.
Okay, let's listen. Is the wooden tool going to react? Or the wooden toy going to react? I don't know.
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be
Okay.
a little protective.
All right, we got this
Those
paper.
What about them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual.
What's so unusual?
Never seen that one before. Was
Hmm.
it in the greenhouse?
Nope.
We found it in Penny's room.
Right.
All right, the golden
You get
beetle.
some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Right?
Leah might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Huh.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
We might have to go investigate her room again.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. Now we got the piano music. Okay, so it turns it into this shape, right? Okay, so that's 2. We now have... we're slowly getting the code. Okay. So I think... Let's go talk to Penelope now. Maybe we can get a bird song. Who knows? Let's go ask her. We still don't have her suspicion either. So, let's see. We have to ask her about the professor.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just
Oh,
a
boy.
little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide?
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
Okay. Now the items. We've asked about most everything. Now I'll get her.
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
You think
We
so?
found it in your room.
Mm-hmm.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope, you'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
Exactly.
Really none of your business.
No, but you see it is, because we're investigating a murder.
Yes, it's my my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Yeah.
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
Okay. What about this golden beetle?
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Yeah, okay. And then the real things?
Is that for sewing?
I don't think so.
We have no idea. There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower.
Okay.
Something suspicious.
All right.
Let's ask him about it.
Yeah, let's go ask him. I'm curious. What's the deal? All right, Fitz. Time to fess up.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's
Uh-huh.
not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I
Really?
don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you
Maybe.
think for more?
Let's see. Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else. I think he was holding the trowel.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
Was it the trowel?
What about this?
Ah,
Maybe.
Is it yours?
it was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Okay. All right, so is part of a matching set with is used by Fitz to cut the potted fruit, maybe? Is used by Fitz to look after. Okay, so we have the potted flower. Was used to bury. Is the only thing that can destroy. An ornate trowel is used by Fitz. Let's see. But what would it be in the garden? Okay, because we haven't seen this flower in the greenhouse. Maybe it's in the garden. So an ornate trowel is used by Fitz to cut a potted flower in the garden? Maybe?
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to cut a potted flower in the garden. No,
Okay, so that's not it. In Fitz's room, in Penny's room. Something in Penny's room is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room. Maybe? Let's see. Is the only thing that can destroy a potted flower is part of a matching set with. Oh, let's try is used by Fitz to look after it. See if that works.
An ornate trowel
There we go.
is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
Right. Okay, so he cares for the flower even
That
if she
flower.
doesn't.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
Uh-huh.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
Okay. The potted flower. It's got the little heart on it. Is it gonna be this crumpled paper? Angrily scrawled. I don't know if that's it or not. Does that make sense? The crumpled paper? What else could it be? We got the potted fruit. What would connect this? Let's look at this. It's got the heart. It's got this. The soil in the pot, it has an unusual blue color. Is that going to be the same as the potted fruit? Unique blue soil. I think it's going to be this.
Let's take a closer look at these.
Okay. So the pot and soil in let's see, in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse.
The pot and soil
Easy.
in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse.
Exactly. He
Let me
doesn't want to
guess.
admit it.
Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
What?
Took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny
Okay.
isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again when she's not there. Water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
Huh. Okay. So that's what the story of the flower was. All right. Interesting. I wonder. All right. Let's go talk to Professor. Make sure he's the last one that we have to ask about our items, I believe. So we should have all of the people. Yes, all the people I already talked to. Let's just ask him about the reel.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know, but Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
All right. So we need to find some more sources of music also. Where do we go now? I have an idea about this. We can't get to this yet, but I was curious about something. Both this room and this room have symbols on the wall, and I'm curious
But it
if
leads
they're
outside.
perhaps opposites, right?
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
So I thought we could take a look at it and see.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
It's a puzzle. So we've got, let's see. So this is a 4x4 grid, right? So we have moon. Let's make sure we draw it properly. And then we'll have to go over to Poppy's room and see if hers has the exact same setup or not.
A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
I think there's something between Fitz, Poppy, and Penelope
There's a
because
little
she's
mechanism by
got
the
that
handle.
flower in here. Okay, so okay. I think I understand what we're doing. So the suns, we're gonna have to put them in the correct locations, right? So we got a sun here. Where's the other one? Down here? Yes. Okay. So let's write those. All right. So the moons, we already know where they go. They go here, 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 and here.
I guess we'll come back later.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll go back over to Fitz's room. Now, if we put the suns where they're supposed to go on Poppy's lock, will it unlock? Let's see.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right.
All right.
And the door's still locked.
Oh, okay.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
Okay, so now we'll go back to Poppy's room again and do it. We figured out the puzzle. I forgot you have to submit them. All right, now this time it should fix it.
Something happened.
Exactly. Let's see what.
That must be it.
Right? Now the door is going to open, I assume.
Finally, it's open.
Nice.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
Well, let's go find out. The mysterious garden. Oh, man. We got this
It's
immediately.
another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's got a headset on,
He's playing a lute this time.
right?
He's also wearing headphones.
Exactly.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Okay. Interesting. A lute statue. A slightly weathered statue of a strange creature holding a lute. Pair of earmuffs has been placed on the head of the statue. I wonder if we're able to take that. All right. We got a little dragonfly
It's
here.
one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon.
We got a flower bush here.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil.
Okay.
Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
Loose petals, huh?
The roses are bright red, too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
Okay. What about this water?
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges, too?
Oh, yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
I don't know.
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Interesting. We got this fountain over
A
here.
little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
I don't know.
Giant stone frog. Love it.
Okay.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
Oh boy. The feathers were mostly found resting on the tongue of the large stone frog. None of them are from the ink dip, okay?
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room.
Right, I think they came from these roses.
Suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
All right, we'll go in just a second. I want to finish investigating, seeing if there's anything else here.
It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
Of course, of course.
That'd be great.
All right, I don't know if there, I think that might be about it. There's a little bench here, but I don't know. Let's see.
It's the window into Fitz's bedroom.
Right?
You know, he's pretty lucky. I wish my bedroom window had a view this nice.
And then there's poppies.
More egg statues.
Oh,
I don't get it. Why eggs?
I don't know.
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
I mean, eggs are easy to
An
sculpt.
egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
There you go. And there's
The door to
Poppy's room.
So only Poppy and Fitz can get into the garden?
Suspicious.
I guess so.
That's interesting there. All right, let's go ahead and talk to Penelope. Ask her about the feathers and the... First, we'll ask her about the feathers. I think that might be all of our items. Let's ask about the lute statue
Lovely.
and the feathers.
There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
I'm curious.
It's a very good question.
Indeed. All right, well, let's present our
So,
suspicion.
yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
Uh-huh.
Now I'll get her on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Indeed.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
Right?
Petals.
They're from red roses.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a
Mhm.
clue.
Something that shows the roses and who they belong to.
Right? Okay, let's see. We have the sheet music. I don't know if that's necessarily a clue. It might be. Let's look at what else we've got. It could be the drawings too, because that shows the red roses here, right? Maybe? Let's see.
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what you're getting at.
Okay.
I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Well,
Is it really only accessible from those 2 bedrooms?
is
For
it?
most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
That's
My
true.
goodness. What are you accusing me of?
Did she fly? Oh, maybe she used her birds. One of Penny's birds was used to spy. Was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz. And steal evidence from them. But it didn't work. And distract them. But it didn't work. Maybe, but it didn't work. Because we have the feathers there, right?
One of Penny's birds was
Okay.
used to spy on Poppy and Fitz, but it didn't work. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Okay. And steal evidence from them. Oh, okay. One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them?
One of Penny's
There
birds
we go.
was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm
Right.
guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
Right?
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that.
But Poppy, on
Besides,
the other
Tabitha
hand...
hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
It's the feathers, right?
Let's take a closer look at these.
Right? So we have the yellow... Yeah, this feather. This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
Yep.
I can't stand knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. Couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days, but being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I
Okay.
apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we figured that out. We definitely had this love triangle thing to deal with. So now I guess we go back through everybody and ask them about the new evidence that we got. All right. We've already asked about all the people. Let's ask about the statue.
I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
Interesting.
I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue.
All right. Well, let's go talk to Poppy first. And then we'll go talk to Fitz. Okay, so the loot
Do
statue.
you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
Found them lying around. I think they belong to Fitz. I put them on the statues so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. I can't
In a
remember
hallway.
exactly.
This could be an important clue.
I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet.
Interesting. Maybe there's more to this story. All right, Fitz. Let's talk to you. All right, what about this?
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They
Yes.
went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
A week
I
ago.
use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
The
We
feathers?
found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, it could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone.
Uh-huh. All right, let's ask Hawkshaw. We're getting all kinds of new information. All right, the loot
One
statue.
of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This
Right.
one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're
Maybe.
not headphones. They're earmuffs for blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
The feathers?
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Just see some
No.
suspicious leaves.
All right. Let's go on to Fifi. All right, Fifi. What about the loot statue?
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues.
Okay. What about the feathers?
What's the mess? Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds. I think.
My argument stands.
Okay. Let's go talk. Let's go talk to you. All right. Tell me about the loot
The
statue.
statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the
Okay.
brass is slightly tarnished by the elements, but it's not too bad. Might be salvageable. Is that
All he thinks of is
true?
treasure.
Really?
It might be.
Everyone's skeptical of our clues. All right. Now let's go talk to Flora. All right. We've got the loot statue. She'll say nothing. And the
Do you
4
recognize
feathers.
Any of these feathers?
All right. So that was it. Let's go back to the garden. We now have a second symbol that we can put in. But I'm not entirely sure where we'll get the
I'm
rest
still
of
not
them.
sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
All right, so we now have this one. The piano one was this symbol, right? And this was this one.
Let's.
We need to
back
find
here.
2 more sources of music. Where are we gonna find those at? See, can we do anything with the birds? Oh, okay. Bird song, nice, okay. Well, there we go. What about the wind chimes?
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent wooden wind chimes.
Okay. So where else can we get a sound from? What about the front? We haven't been to the front in a while. Maybe there's something here. Bells. Maybe. Yes, there we go. Okay. We got all our sounds now.
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
All right.
So, what do we do with them?
I know
Should
what we
go
do.
Back to the gardens again?
We will do that in our next episode. And then we should hopefully be very close to wrapping up this mystery once and for all. What's going to be in the garden fountain? I don't know. It's going to be interesting seeing what it unlocks. But if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Liara27. I have my schedule posted in the about and in the description. And if you want to see which games I'm playing each day, I post them on x.com/Liara27. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Until then, guys, bye.